Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here today from Amplify Figures. In this video today I've got a review on Bad Blood. I think it was the best show since WrestleMania, best premium live event since WrestleMania. Probably better than SummerSlam in my opinion. I just thought the moments were better, from the opening match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre being one of the best matches of the year, to another banger with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes taking on Solo and Jacob Fatu. That match was a banger as well. So yeah, everything on this show, in my opinion, delivered. So yeah, let's get into the review. Starting off with the first match. Alright, so the first match on the show was CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. I should not have made this all the way over here, this setup. But yeah, this is kind of hard to film. But yeah, this was easily the best match of the night. They opened up with Punk versus Drew. And yeah, this match was an absolute banger. Like, definitely is going to go down as the best, one of the best matches of the year. It probably will end up being my favorite match of the year. This and Roman and Cody were definitely my two favorite matches of the year for sure. Absolute banger. We've seen blood. We've seen some absolutely incredible spots. The spot where Drew sent Punk through the table, that spot was absolutely mental. Drew hit 2 claymores, but could not get the win. The thing that I disliked the most about this match was the end. The ending, like, I wasn't really the biggest fan of the ending. Like, the beads was cool. Like, he poured out all the beads. I need to get rid of that Rule of Fall. But yeah, I did put some beads in the ring. But anyways, poured out all the beads on the ring. And then, you know, he was just rubbing it in. He's rubbing it in on Punk's face. He was just taking it too far with his emotions. And then he ended up going for another Claymore. And he missed, and he hit his back off the steel step, because before that, he threw, everything just fell. It does make it easier to film, though. Before that, he did slam Punk into the stairs a few times, so, you know, he was taking it too far with the whole beads, and he was rubbing it in Punk's face, and then he ended up going for the Claymore. He missed, bang, his back hit off the stairs, then Punk picked him up, wrapped the metal chain around his knee, and hit a GTS, and then Punk ended up winning. I just personally would not have made CM Punk beat Drew McIntyre inside of a Hell in a Cell cage. I just think it's not believable, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, just not believable, in my opinion. I think, like, Drew McIntyre should be beating an old Punk. Like, CM Punk is washed at this point. Like, he's an old guy, you know. He's not washed, but he's old, you know. He's old. He's going to be retiring soon. Triple H should have gave it to Drew McIntyre. I mean, maybe it makes more sense in the story, but, like, what is next for Drew McIntyre? He's took so many losses. But anyways, just an absolute banger of a match. Definitely the best match of the night. Yeah, the blood, and there was blood in this match. Both of them were bleeding. They did put some blood on Drew McIntyre's face, as you guys can see. I don't know if that's focusing. And then, of course, I did add some blood to Punk as well. So, yeah, this match was just absolutely insane. Banger Hell in a Cell match. And definitely the best match out of the 3. I will just mention the hosts. They had, like, some hosts of the show. I didn't even end up setting this up because I don't have a figure on Naomi or Jade Cargill. But they did hosts for the show for whatever reason. And it was Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. And they basically just said, "Welcome to Bad Blood" at the start of the show. And then they basically just had freaking, them backstage with a bunch of legends, and Metro Boomin got interviewed. And then there was also Little Baby was there, Quavo was there. Who else was there? Metro, Little Yachty. There were so many rappers there. It was so weird. But yeah, you know, there were some cool moments that happened on the show that, of course, aren't set up. But yeah, the hosts of the show were Bayley and Naomi and Jade Cargill. Bayley versus Nia Jax was the next match. And I don't have a figure of Nia Jax or Tiffany Stratton. So I basically just set up Bayley losing. Bayley ended up losing this match. Yeah, it was actually a pretty interesting match. Like, it felt like at some points that Tiffany Stratton was actually going to cash in. And she didn't, but it felt like she was going to cash in. And it also kind of felt like Bayley maybe had a chance of winning because Tiffany Stratton almost cost Nia Jax the match. So yeah, this definitely was a really good match. This delivered. I thought this was a banger. Second match was good. I liked Bayley versus Nia Jax. Even though it was the match on the card I was looking forward to the least, I still thought it was a solid match. I think it was better than Damian versus Finn because I felt like this match just had more excitement. Like, You felt like Bayley could win. You felt like Tiffany Stratton could cash in and win the title. So yeah, just absolutely delivered overall. And yeah, Nia Jax ends up winning the match. The next match was Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Damian Priest ended up picking the win in a solid match. I thought this match was just okay. We've seen JD McDonough, we've seen Carlito trying to help Finn, but Finn ends up coming out short. I did predict that Damian was going to win, and I did get that right. So Finn Balor ends up losing, and Damian Priest ends up winning. So yeah, I did get this one right. There was a few I did get wrong, but yeah, I thought it was just a solid match. I've definitely seen Damian Priest and Finn Balor in 10 times better matches. They could have just booked this where they both hated each other a little more, like that kind of was what they were going for. But like, I mean, did it really feel like they hated each other that much? Not really. Like, it was an okay match. Seeing Damian do better, seeing Finn do better. I just hope that Damian moves on to something else now. Then the next thing on the show was Triple H came out. CEO, the absolute legend. Sometimes he doesn't always book everything right, but he still is a good booker. The legend himself, Triple H, came out and he did announce that there was a new championship, a new title, which this title doesn't even look like is in the title. Of course, there's no title of it, but there's no replica title of it for the figures. But I just chose this because the title was like some really big title, like it was a huge ass looking title, and I just thought this looked a little bit like it. It's like some crown jewel championship that's going to be defended every year, crown jewel. So it's champion versus champion. So that means it is the ring general, the current world heavyweight champion, Gunther, taking on Cody Rhodes. And then it is Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. So, I mean, I'll just talk about this just for a little bit, and then we'll get into what happened in the segment. I'm not sure how I feel about this title. Like, it might be a bit stupid in my opinion. Like, do we really need the champs not defending their title on a show? Like, I don't really know about, I don't know how I feel about that. And I mean, they're just going to win a title. That kind of means nothing. I hope that Cody beats Gunther, and then I kind of hope that Liv beats Nia. That's probably what I would book. But yeah, I mean, Cody versus Gunther will be a banger though. So whatever, it is what it is. But the thing about this is, if Cody goes on to Crown Jewel and he has this match, doesn't defend his title, and then if Cody's in the War Games match with the Bloodline versus Roman's Bloodline versus The Rock's Bloodline, because The Rock returned, we will get to that, then Cody doesn't defend his title again. So Cody doesn't defend his title at Crown Jewel, and then he doesn't defend his title at War Games. So that means that Cody didn't defend his title on Bad Blood, Crown Jewel, and War Games. That's 3 shows that Cody didn't defend his title. Gunther's defending his title against Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. So, I mean, that's a title defense for Gunther. But 3 shows that Cody doesn't defend his title, that's pretty bad. So then basically Gunther ends up coming out. We're talking about the segment now. Gunther ends up coming out saying, it couldn't be Bad Blood without your World Heavyweight Champion, without your ring general, Gunther, basically. And then he basically just calls Goldberg out and said, "You're not my favorite. I don't look up to you. How could a great wrestler like me look up to a one-trick pony?" And then he kept talking to Gunther. And then he said something about his son, Gage. That was pretty funny, the way Goldberg and Gage were in the crowd. And he said to Goldberg, to Gage, "I hope your father is a better dad than a better wrestler." So, yeah, pretty funny. So then basically, Goldberg ended up getting up. Goldberg got out of his seat. Goldberg ended up getting out of his seat. And Gunther kept saying to him, come on, Goldberg, spare me. It was really, really funny. And I thought that they were actually going to do where Goldberg was going to come in the ring and attack him. But no, that did not happen. Then we just got a brawl between Sami Zayn and Gunther. But yeah, fun little segment there. Definitely a fun little segment between Goldberg, Gunther, and Sami and Gunther. This was hilarious. I thought this was entertaining. This was very good. Props off to WWE for putting this in here, because this was funny. This was definitely cool. Cool to see Goldberg and cool to see Sami Zayn and Gunther in the show. Yeah, moving on. Alright, so next up we're talking about Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Ended up being a solid match. This was the co-main event. Liv Morgan ends up winning with the help of Raquel Rodriguez. Her name has been Raquel Rodriguez and Raquel Gonzalez. I did not see this coming. Apparently, she has been in a tag team with Liv before, and Rhea did send her off TV. It was like written off injury, like they rid her off TV because she had a skin condition. So Rhea is the one who ended up injuring her. Like Rhea got her injured, and then she ended up going off TV. So basically, she just came back for revenge and helped Liv Morgan win here. You know, not bad booking. You know, I don't think it was bad. So Liv Morgan ends up retaining. I'd say Rhea will go into a feud with Raquel, and then we're probably gonna get Then we're probably gonna get Rhea versus Liv again. So it'll probably be Rhea feuding with Raquel, and then after that, Rhea will probably just beat Liv, yeah. And then we had Dominic in the shark cage. This was pretty funny. Then he ended up, like, the door opened, and then he basically ended up falling down, and his leg was attached to the cage, and then Rhea beat him up with a kendo stick. Basically took her eyes off Liv, and then that ended up costing her the match. So yeah, it was fun. It was funny that Dominic was in the shark cage. This was funny. Moving on to the main event. All right, so it's time to talk about the main event. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu taking on Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Starts off pretty slow. Then towards the end of the match, it got good, you know. But yeah, it ended up being a really good match in my opinion. So Jimmy Uso ends up coming back. Solo Sikoa gets distracted and then gets speared. Solo gets distracted, gets speared. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes win. So Roman and Cody win. Solo gets pinned. Then, as we thought the show was over, Roman Reigns hands the title to Cody. They look at each other. And then, if you smell, The Rock's music hits and The Rock comes out. The final boss, The Rock, ends up coming out, just stands there, looks at Cody and Roman and Jimmy. You got Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and what's the other guy's name again? Tongaloa, all in the crowd, like they're scattered across the crowd. I also forgot to show this. Cody basically took out Jacob Fatu and took him out through the table. But anyways, that doesn't matter anymore. Basically, you got Cody, Roman, and Jimmy Uso are all in the ring. They're looking over at The Rock, and then The Rock just basically puts up a 1, a 2, and then a 3. I'm not sure what this means. Maybe it means that he's after all 3 of these. Maybe he's coming revenge on Jimmy, Roman, and Cody. I don't know. I'm not sure what the whole 3 meant, but it's definitely going to be The Rock's bloodline versus Roman's bloodline at War Games. I would personally book it The Rock, Solo, Tangaloa, and Jacob Fatu. So that's 5 versus Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Cody, and Sammy. That's what I would do. Or you don't put Cody in there. You bring another member from the family in. That's what you could do. But overall, this was just an absolute incredible show. The way that they ended the show was incredible. I thought The Rock was going to come out. I did say in my prediction video we could see Jimmy and we could see The Rock. I did also say Paul Heyman, but unfortunately we still haven't seen Paul. But basically, I did say we could see Jimmy, we could see The Rock. We ended up seeing them. I did pop when The Rock came out. Like, I was kind of thought, you know, the show's just kind of over now. They're even going to do it. But yeah, he did end up coming out. And yeah, definitely excited to see The Rock's next run in the WWE, because his last run, WrestleMania, was still my favorite thing of the year. Like, the whole thing with Cody, Rock, and Roman was the best thing in 2024. So yeah, the final boss is back. Absolutely incredible show. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this. I can't wait for the War Games match. Favorite show since Mania for sure. Right. Thank you a lot for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to My Fun Fingers. My Fun Fingers out.